Hello and welcome back to Kenny Sports Guy Podcast. I'm your host, Kenny Severo, and today we have a special guest. One of the most electrifying leadoff hitters and outfielders in baseball history, Johnny Damon. He is a two-time World Series champion, a key figure in breaking the curse of the Bambino with the 2004 Boston Red Sox, and a fan favorite wherever he played, from Kansas City to Oakland or now Sacramento to New York. Known for his speed, clutch hitting, and signature long locks and mountain man beard, he was a leader on both on and off the field. Please welcome to the show, Johnny Damon. Thank you so much for being on the show today, Johnny.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Kenny. It's great to be here, and I hope the weather's treating you all right there in New York. It's really gorgeous out here in Florida right now.
I'm so jealous right now, actually. It's actually right now 30 degrees right now here.
I won't tell you how awful this feels like here.
Okay, my first question I have for you is it is a bit of a painful question since I am a Yankee fan growing up in the Bronx. You played a key role in breaking the curse of the Bambino with the Red Sox in 2004 in the infamous 3-0 series comeback against the Yankees in the ALCS. This would be very painful to hear, and I'm probably gonna get PST out of this, but what was that moment like the comeback was completed?
Oh, well, it feels really good now, but when we were in the fight, it was very difficult, obviously. Like when it's all said and done, it's all over. It sounds easy, it sounds easy to win a championship, but we had to overcome so much that entire season. But overcoming three down to the Yankees, I mean, I'm not sure if the Yankees ever lost four games in a row that year. I mean, they are powerhouse. And it seems like after game three, after we got absolutely whooped, um, maybe it was Tim Wakefield who walked in and started throwing that knuckleball and got their hitters off balance because after that the Yankees just weren't hitting from game four on and God bless Tim Wakefield and everything he did for the Red Sox and he gave up that um, game-ending home run the year before but he came in he saved our team because um, we would have been going through our bullpen for the rest of game three, but Wakefield came in threw a bunch of innings for us, and we were able to save our bullpen for when it counted.
Definitely, definitely. I still have that bad memory to this day, actually. And seeing that grand slam that you hit was absolutely. I knew it was over the moment that you hit that grand slam, actually.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that
yeah,
one I got jammed a little bit, and the next one, may not have landed yet. So I was just doing my job. I was, very important time for Red Sox fans, and a lot of great memories. And we brought a nation together, Red Sox Nation, and we also reversed the curse that a lot of people thought would never be broke. And but just doing my job. I'm glad I got to return the favor to you a couple years later.
so eventually you guys beat the Yankees in the ALCS of that year, and then you guys went on to face the St. Louis Cardinals in the World Series, sweeping them. So my question to you is, what was it like the moment the 2004 Red Sox ended the curse?
I believe it was relieved because we knew when we beat the Yankees, it wasn't over yet. Even though it
Mm.
felt like the World Series that everybody was just mentally and physically drained. Going in and facing the Cardinals, we knew we still had um, to get the job done. But I believe after we celebrated a little bit at the field, we all kind of just went back to the hotel and packed up our bags real quick and we just relaxed and we all just sat back and took a deep breath, a big sigh of relief, and just knowing the season was over and we are the national champions, world champions.
Yeah, world champions. So the next so the next question I have is you are one of the rare players that played for the Yankees and the Red Sox. What was the biggest difference between playing for the Red Sox and the New York Yankees, both in terms of team culture and fan base?
Uh, yeah, well, I think it's a very similar feeling. I mean, both teams are historical. Each team, um, they're always one of the best, and the Yankees got their way over the Red Sox for all those years. And the culture obviously is a little different. I believe in Boston. They just wanted a championship and we were able to give it to them. But I think the difference between Boston and New York, Boston fans invite you to dinner every night. I would say 60, 70% of people turn the TV on so they can watch the Red Sox. I would say in New York, the percentage is a lot less, but the numbers are more. But I think
Mm.
more percentage of Red Sox fans tune in night after night, and both great fan bases. I'm glad I got to see both sides, and I'm glad I got to win for both sides because if not, who knows? Like right now. Um, I can honestly say back in the day until now that I've been loved and hated in both spots. And hopefully, since my career has been over for a while, I'm loved everywhere and everything that I put out there on the field, the way I hustled, the way I carried myself and won a championship for both sides. I think they're loving me a lot more now.
Who was the toughest pitcher you ever faced in your career?
Oh man, there's so many. I would probably say Mariano. I mean, he's got one pitch, you know what's coming, and it saws you off, especially if you're a lefty hitter. Um, I can't uh, discard Roger Clemens, Pedro Martinez. I mean, those guys are like just the best that we've seen in a long time. And Roger Clemens with seven Cy Youngs. I mean, I'm not sure if that's ever going to be top, but um, great pitchers and all-time best.
You were known for your speed and base running. How do you develop that part of your game over time in your career?
Well, I was always built with speed as a young kid. I was a track star in Florida. Um, I knew how to take the turns running track, just like I knew how to take the turns running the bases. I had no wasted space. Like I would touch the inside of the bag and be able to push off and get around the bases in a pretty good way. There's a lot of doubles I had in my career that a lot of people don't realize. Over 500, over 100 triples, and my home runs, and not. There's only a few guys who are in triple digits, and with those stats in Major League Baseball, there's not many. I believe Paul Molitor is one, and of course Willie Mays.
Now, you played with some of the greatest players in history, such as Derek Jeter, David Ortiz, Carlos Beltran, and others. Who was the best teammate you ever had and why?
Best teammate I ever had. Man, there's so many. You're putting me on the spot. I mean, there's let's see. My early days with Kansas City, I mean, Mike Sweeney and Jermaine Dye, I mean, those two guys are like my brothers. We were young when we joined big leagues together. Pretty much our senior year of college, it felt like. And yeah, we're brothers to this day. Jason Giambi was great to be around. He always had this energy. Kevin Millar was always making us laugh. Yeah, so great teammates or um, yeah, I've been fortunate. I've been fortunate to have so many.
What was the most memorable prank or funny moment you experienced in the clubhouse during your career?
Oh my gosh, I would probably say the three-man lift. Yeah, I mean, I was always a strong guy, so I would have the younger kids like um, get on top of some towels and I would show them how I could lift 620 pounds by wrapping them around in towels. So whenever we got ready, um, and I was getting ready to do my lift, they got doused with whatever. They got doused with honey. They got doused with milk, beer, whatever. So
Wow.
it's a nice prank that we had, and I'm not sure how often that goes on now, but I also know the clubhouse guys don't like to clean up unnecessary stuff if if they don't have to.
So let's switch gears from your career to the current MLB. The MLB season is just upon us. What are your thoughts on the season and what are your predictions on which teams will make the playoffs?
Yeah, there's so much talent in Major League Baseball from the offensive side, defensively, pitching. I like the Yankees and the Dodgers going back to the World Series. I think the Dodgers have an edge, but I also think the Yankees have more depth than they had last year. I know losing Juan Soto is a tough thing, losing one of the
Mm,
best players ever, but you get to add with Bellinger and you get to add some new pitchers and um, yeah, I think the Yankees improved their team with more players. As I mentioned, losing Soto, tough. Yeah, but
yeah, it is.
they're finding a way to get through it right now. And also, I mean, Yankee Stadium was perfect for Soto and those home runs. I mean, I could imagine 40 home runs a year for the next 15 years, but Citi Field plays a little bigger. I do think the Mets have a very strong team. Their top five of their lineup is going to be absolutely ridiculous. And maybe their entire lineup. I haven't got to see who is going to be in the latter parts for the Mets, but New York teams are going to be strong, and it's going to be a great rivalry, especially since Soto jumped across the um, city. And yeah, I think the Mets are going to draw a bunch of fans because of them.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Yankees losing Juan Soto hurts the office a little bit, but I think it's Cody Bellinger is gonna make up for that actually. And also with the addition of Devin Williams, like we finally have a closer that can actually close out games. I mean, Clay Holmes last year was actually pretty decent, but he blew 12 saves, so that's not really great in the eyes of Yankee fans. So
Nope.
I feel
Well,
like yeah, it is so he's going to Queens right now. I think Devin Williams might be the most important off-season acquisition the Yankees had done this off-season because the closer's role was actually a weak point last year for the Yankees, and we solidified that. And also, I think one person that is gonna have a breakout year is Jason Dominguez because I
mm,
think given time if he plays every day, he might actually be the replacement for the offense for Juan Soto. And I know his defense is a little bit left to be desired, but I think Dominguez might be the wild card out of all this. And if Stanton and Judge stays healthy and the pitching staff do what they have to do, and the bullpen also, I feel like the Yankees are going to repeat another trip to the World Series.
yeah, and as you mentioned, blowing 12 games. That's a tough thing. It's
It
really
is
tough when you knew you had Mariano for all those years to come close the door. And I mean, one of the greatest pitchers of all time, you don't have him anymore. And but yeah, adding uh, Devin is huge. I also know you have some veteran leadership in Paul Goldsmith, correct?
yeah,
So
yep.
is he expecting to be an everyday guy?
Well, he's supposed to be the either first baseman or DH during that time. So that's also
Mhm.
another signing that the Yankees that was a great signing with the Yankees actually because he's a former MVP. Yes, he did had a down year last year, but I just feel like the Yankees took a flyer on him and
Yep.
he's actually gonna have like a great season. He's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
shock a
I
lot of
think
Yankee
so.
fans. So
Yeah, I
yeah, I
think
think
so.
So I think Paul Goldschmidt, like many people like underutilized him and I thought that he was a good signing and he was a former MVP. He's actually gonna do well for the Yankees this year. That's why I believe in.
Yeah, I think so too. Anytime you can add a veteran who knows how to put up great at bats, I think he's going to be great. I would like to limit Stanton in the outfield a little bit,
Hmm.
so that's another thing. But maybe there's a nice mix where Goldsmith can play some first, do some DH, and Stanton can DH more and um, help out at least 30 to 50 games in the outfield. I think it would keep everybody fresh.
Definitely, definitely. So my next question is, the Yankees recently changed their facial hair policy just last week. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts really don't matter. I mean, I respected the boss, and I knew when I signed from the Red Sox, um, I was going to have to shave and be clean cut, and I was up to it. I mean, the um, boss was a great one, and whatever he said goes. And if he has a policy and he wants to pay you a lot of money to be a part of the team, absolutely. I was not going to complain about having to cut my hair and shave. I don't think they're going to let guys go Johnny Damon, Red Sox style. I think a couple day um, like shadow. But who knows? I'm not sure what the rules are if they're going to let guys like I know Blackman retired, but if they let someone like him join the team with his long hair and the big beard, I'm not sure how far that rule um, can be pushed. Maybe someone's going to have to push it, but every time I go and do a appearance for the Yankees, I'm going to do my very best to be clean cut,
Hmm.
just for respect.
Yeah, of course, of course. You came from obviously your career is I believe is like one of the best. Like you I think considering you were one of the best leadoff hitters in my opinion, honestly. But anyway, let's talk about your post-retirement legacy. You've been involved in various businesses, and one business venture that caught my eye was A Game. Can you tell me what A Game is all about?
Absolutely. As you can see, some bottles here. I got my citrus here. You got to bring your A game every single moment of every single day. Being a teacher, a doctor, a parent, an athlete, we are a very clean drink, no artificial flavors, coloring. Sea salt's our hydration. Honey is our sugars. Um, all the ingredients in there works very well with the human body. And at the end of the day, when you have a clean drink, we taste great. A lot of clean drinks are, yeah, awful tasting. This is the absolute best out there. And I know up in the New York area, we are in a bunch of bodegas, Northeast, like Shaw's, Stop and Shop. I know ShopRite. Um, it's happening soon. So you can also go to drinkagame.com. Amazon carries our product. And we have Tyler Adams, who's on board. I know he's from just north of the city, U.S. Um, World Cup coming up next year. I know Caleb Downs just won the national championship with Ohio State. Um, yeah, so we have a lot of strong people on our team. I brought Bo Jackson on board years ago, and we all know that Bo knows hydration as well. So a lot of
Bo
great
knows
things coming
everything.
for us.
Bo knows Bo knows everything, definitely. So, couple of questions I have. So, who you got winning the World Series this year?
I have the Dodgers winning the World Series this year. I just think they are tough. They have depth. The way they spent their money, if they need someone down the stretch, they will be able to make a deal for them. Um, I like the Dodgers, and I believe they're playing with a lot of confidence right now. And I know it's only spring training. My mind can change in the first couple months, but uh, I do think Phillies and Mets are going to battle it out in the NL East. Dodgers and I'm not sure about the Central. I think it's you can flip a coin right now. I feel bad for Marmol at St. Louis. He's got a very young team. He went to my high school, but he's got some work to do, and hopefully he can get those guys playing to their best of their ability.
Yeah, with me, obviously, I would have to say the Dodgers, but I think there's one other team out there that could give them a run for their money, and I think that's going to be the New York Mets. Given anything sinister happening, I think the Mets actually have maybe the third best team in the league behind the Dodgers and the Phillies. I think the Mets actually have a great bullpen. They have a good pitching staff. I think the addition of Juan Soto is going to help out that team tremendously, along with Lindor, McNeil, and recently returned Pete Alonso. I think the Mets have the capacity and the determination to beat the Dodgers in the
Yep.
NLCS next year. This year,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, it's always tough. I mean, that's why you have to play the game. And with teams out west like San Diego and stuff, it's very important that they get off to a great start because it seems like the teams that
Exactly.
don't get off to a great start. And I was shocked by Arizona last year. I mean, they were way back and then they almost made it to the playoffs on the very last day. So you have to give them a lot of credit to sticking with their guns. And also Detroit and Kansas City, they were nowhere to be found early on. And then
Hmm.
they just quietly just stayed right there. So it's going to be another great baseball season, a lot of great highlights, a lot of great hits. And yeah, since football season's over right now, I mean, we can't wait to have our baseball back.
And finally, the last question is, what's the best piece of advice you would give to young baseball players today?
Oh, that's always been easy for me. You have to go out there and have fun. You have to enjoy what you're doing. If you don't, find something that makes you happy. And I always had fun playing baseball, always carried a smile on my face. And but you have to have fun and you have to learn the social skills for kids, and you have to learn to pick yourself up when you fail. I think that's why we lost a lot of young baseball players because it's a failure sport and people don't want to fail. But it taught me a lot of lessons in life. It taught me you're going to go through some struggles, but be ready to pick yourself up and pick up your friend, pick up your teammate, pick up your neighbor, whoever you can help. At all times. Yeah, baseball taught me so many life skills, and you always have to pick somebody up, and that's what I tried to do during my entire career. Be a great teammate and be a great supporter.
And finally, where can people find you on social media and where can people find you on find A Game?
Yeah, okay. On social media, I'm at Johnny Damon. We're also at Drink A Game. You can go to drinkagame.com to check out some information about us. And we are on Amazon and we are in a bunch of stores. Even if you're in the South, we're in Greer's, we're in Rouse's, we're in the Dallas area at Central Markets, down here in Florida at Winn-Dixie, and a lot more stores popping up really soon.
Well, Johnny, that's all the questions I have for you today. I really want to thank you for the time, and you have been incredible during this interview.
Thank you so much, Kenny.
Well,
Appreciate
that's
it.
all the no problem. Well, that's all the questions I have today. I want to thank Johnny Damon for the time. You can find this episode at KenTheSportsGuy.com, Ken with two wins, and my YouTube channel. In addition, you can follow me on X at Kenny_sports, Instagram at Kenny Sports Guy 1, and TikTok at Kenny Sports Podcast. Until the next episode, keep it sporty.